If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and, well, I'm back for my 17th CD collection update for you guys. Now, just a note, I'm recording this video on September 24th, which was Saturday. The following day after recording, I leave for a little mini vacation. I'm staying 3 nights at a chalet in Smoky Mountains, Tennessee, and I can't wait for it. Hot tubs, jacuzzis, the whole 9 yards. And then, of course, record shops, go-kart tracks, and awesome food. So I'm looking forward to this trip. Also, I feel like I'm going to go overboard on CD buying because there's at least one record shop I'm definitely going to. The other one's kind of questionable, but we'll see what happens. Now, as of this recording, apart from 2 CDs that I pre-ordered, I am currently 28 albums away from 800 CDs in the shelf back there. So I figured I'd make this video for you guys to enjoy something while I'm away. But also, I forgot to mention, on the way back home from Tennessee on Wednesday, going to Cincinnati to see Megadeth live, and then after Megadeth's done playing, not staying for Five Finger Cousin Fuck, I'm going home. So, it's going to be a hell of a time for me. But regardless, excuse me, let's go ahead and get into the CD collection update for you today. So this is all the stuff that I've gotten since the last update at the end of August, and we kick things off with an album I was shocked I didn't have in the collection already until now. AC/DC Let There Be Rock. This is the last of the Bon Scott era full-lengths that I needed to complete the Bon Scott era. And I would say this and Power Edge are almost neck and neck for the most underrated AC/DC album ever. I give the edge to Power Edge a little bit because I think that's maybe the best AC/DC album. I don't know, Highway to Hell and Back in Black would have a run for the money. But Let There Be Rock's a great album too. The title track, Problem Child, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Whole Lot of Rosie. You can't go wrong with classic AC/DC. And this is a must-have for any fan of classic rock, hard rock, blues rock, proto-metal. This is some great stuff. Now, this next CD I got, this is the first of 3 albums I got from a follower of mine on Instagram that has a Discogs account and is selling stuff, and this is the first of 3 of them. I've got With Fear, I Kissed the Burning Darkness by At the Gates. And actually, now I'm only missing 2 full-length albums from At the Gates. I'm missing the first album and Terminal Spirit Disease, and I do plan to get those at some point because I think At the Gates, top to bottom, is a fantastic band. This is very different from the majority of the discography. Like, this album's mostly just straight-ahead classic Swedish death metal. It was recorded at Sunlight Studios with Thomas Skogsberg, so it's going to have that vibe. But yeah, I would say this could be considered the most underrated album in the catalog. Maybe you'll find that out in the rankings someday, but yeah, I'm glad I got this. And now we get into a 4-way, we get into a foursome of Blood Red Throne. Of course, as you guys know already, I am going to be ranking the Blood Red Throne discography sometime in October. And I actually have 4 CDs from Blood Red Throne to getting close to complete the collection of theirs. So first we've got their sophomore album, Affiliated with the Suffering. I'm not going to touch too much on these albums because you're going to hear my overall thoughts in the ranking video, but I'll say top to bottom, like, every Blood Red Throne album's awesome. This is definitely no exception. This version is the Candlelight USA reissue from 2005. It was originally released on Hammerheart Records, but I wanted to get this particular version because it comes with cover songs, including their cover of Massacre's Cryptic Realms, which I think was the best cover song they ever did. Well, neck and neck with Leather Rebel from Judas Priest on Union of Flesh and Machine, but this is a hell of an album. Songs like Bleeder's Lament. I'll go more in depth in the rankings. Then we got the first one on Earache Records, Altered Genesis, which this was the last one that I got in the mail just 2 days ago, and I'm glad it finally came before leaving for the trip. And all these, well, except for the next one, were all used. This one, few scratches, but still in very good shape. The case is almost perfect, almost. But yeah, definitely glad I got this one for damn sure. And then I got Come Death, and this particular one is the 2021 Digipack reissue from Earache Records. The only issue I have with the reissues for Digipacks from Earache, no liner notes. Come on, Earache, put liner notes in your stuff. But still, can't complain that I got the album finally, and it whoops ass. And then the last one from Blood Red Throne that I got is Souls of Damnation, and this one is the original release from 2009 special edition that comes with a bonus DVD of the making of the album and documenting the first 10 years of the band's existence. And also that lineup, that's a strong lineup right there. So yeah, glad I got this one. So the only Blood Red Throne album I am missing now is the self-titled that came out in 2013, and that's going to be a challenge to get because I literally cannot find it anywhere, or if I do find it, they want $80 for it, and I'm like, no fucking way that's happening. Maybe I'll find it on my trip, I highly doubt it, but we'll see. But yeah, there's all the Blood Red Throne that I got recently. Next up, we get an album that only just came out earlier in the month, and I reviewed it, and I absolutely love it. Bloodbath Survival of the Sickest. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to know my thoughts, go check out my review. All I'm going to say, one of the best albums of 2022 in my opinion, and hands down the best album of the Nick Holmes era of Bloodbath. Check it out if you haven't already. This is the first of 2 albums I got from good pal Rick, a.k.a. Dreadful Minutes. By the way, I'll have a link in the description box for his channel. Go check him out. He does some really cool stuff. But he sent me 2 CDs. One I knew was coming. This one, I wasn't sure. This one is from, I'm trying to remember the name of the band, Councilium, with the Veiled Enigma. This is an EP from, I keep forgetting the, from where this band is from, but I think this is a death metal EP. I could be wrong, I haven't checked it out yet, that's why I'm kind of blanking on it a little bit. But really cool that I got something from Rick, apart from the big thing that we'll get to in just a little bit. But next up, actually, we have another foursome of albums, and these are all Darkthrone. I know I said I wasn't thinking of getting these albums, but I was kind of wanting to complete the Darkthrone catalog because, you know, with the new one, Astral Fortress, coming out Halloween weekend, it'll be their 20th album. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well get the rest. So the only one I'm missing now is Plague Wielder, but we got Goat Lord. I can't remember if I ranked this last in the ranking video. It's been a little while since I watched that video back. But it's cool to have because it's a cool, like, what if kind of album. But yeah, Goat Lord. And then I got Hate Them, which, if I remember right, I don't think I ranked this one very high. Only just because I wasn't too big on the production compared to, say, Sardonic Wrath. But it's still a good album. Fucked Up and Ready to Die, Divide We Stand, Striving for a Piece of Lucifer. What else do you want me to say? And then we got, I think this one I did rank last, if memory serves me right. The Cult is Alive, when they started in the punk era. It's not terrible. There's no bad Darkthrone album, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I wanted to get Cult is Alive. And then the follow-up, Fuck Off and Die. Goofy, but I like goofiness, and that's all that needs to be said about that. Sorry if I was going through some of them quickly, it's just because, well, if you want to know full opinions about some of these albums, check out the Bloodbath review as well as my Darkthrone album ranking. Next up, this, out of all the CDs in this set for the update, is the rarest one. I was just scouring through Discogs one day, And I'd been looking for this album for a long time, and I found it very cheap and in damn good condition. I got Dissection's Live Legacy. 2003 release on Nuclear Blast Records. This is when they played live at Wacken in 1997, just days before John Nodvite went to prison. But yeah, this is a highly sought after live album, and I will dare I say one of the best live albums I have ever heard in metal history. Not just black metal or melodic death metal, but in all of metal. Especially the final track, the Somber Lane. I prefer this version of the Somber Lane over the studio version. I don't know why, it's just whenever Dissection plays in D or drop D, it just sounds amazing. But yeah, Live Legacy, Dissection, good luck trying to get this cheap and in good shape. I was lucky. Speaking of getting albums cheap and in good condition, we have Entombed Morningstar. This was the last of the great Entombed album, the original Entombed albums I was needing. Like, I already had Left Hand Path, Clandestine, Wolverine Blues, and Uprising. I needed to get this one to complete that series of albums. And this one is particularly special because, I don't know if you can see, that is Alex Helid's signature on the cover. So I got a very special version of the album signed by one of the original members of Entombed. So that's really cool to have. And also, this is a great album. It's like Death Thrash, Chief Rebel Angel, Eye for an Eye, Year One Now, About to Die. Just awesome stuff. Really, really great album. Now we get to the big album that Dreadful Minutes sent me. And that was, he watched the interview for the Horseman podcast we did with Jeremy Wagner from Broken Hope, and he was shocked to hear I didn't have this album in my collection because me being in Ohio, and this band is from Ohio, we've got Gutted's Bleed for Us to Live. Cult underground death metal gem from the early to mid 90s. Band out of Toledo, just up north of where I am. And holy shit, this is some gross, raw death metal. Absolutely love it. And it's cool that Ohio, over the years, has developed an amazing death metal scene. Even as far back as the 80s with Necrophagia, and then you get Gutted in the 90s, and now today you got 200 Stab Wounds and Sanguis Sigabog killing it right now. But yeah, Gutted. Bleed for Us to Live. Next up, this is another recent one I just got yesterday, and this was another one I was surprised I didn't have already, and that's Catatonia's Brave Murder Day. I only had the debut album, Dance of December Souls, as far as Catatonia goes. I need to dig further into Catatonia and then get more albums, but I was already super familiar with Brave Murder Day, also because Michael Ockerfeld, focus camera, from Opeth did the growls on this album, and this album's just heavy and evil and dark. I mean, the song Brave alone makes this album classic in my mind, but also the song Day is great. And also this particular version is cool because it comes with where is it? It comes with an EP, but I can't remember the name of the EP off the top of my head. So this goes from 6 tracks to 9, which is really cool. But yeah, Brave Murder Day, Catatonia, one of the best Death Doom albums ever. And now we get to a pair. We get 2 Megadeth albums. The first one, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Sadly, I basically have no choice but to get the remastered version. I want to get the original recording, but those are hard to find cheap and in good condition, and with these boots on there, because I know some early pressings of the album took that out because Nancy Sinatra found it too offensive. Whatever. But at least I got the better album cover, which is a plus. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the drums on the remasters of the Megadeth albums. But for this, I basically had no other option but to get the remaster. But it's still a fantastic debut. I think I ranked it like number 4, number 5 in my Megadeth discography ranking video late last year. But yeah, awesome stuff. And then, of course, the last one, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. If you want to know my full opinion about this album, check out my review. That's all I'm going to say. And we only got 4 more left. Next up, pretty much now 100% completing the major releases from Metallica, I have S&M 2. I'm so glad I got this one because actually I was watching the clip on YouTube of the S&M 2 version of Unforgiven 3 where it was just the orchestra and James's vocals. Such a beautiful rendition of that song. And really, there is no bad Metallica live release. I mean, they're still one of the best live bands to ever live. And Hetfield, especially on Unforgiven 3, sounds amazing. So yeah, I am so glad I got this. And I actually got this cheap. Well, actually, this was the last one, so I'll tell the story. So this, the Catatonia album, and the AC/DC album, I got from a deal off Amazon where they gave me a $15 promotional credit for just posting a picture on the photo app, and I just posted a thumbnail for a video. And I managed to get a $15 deal, $15 off, 30 bucks or more, and so I bought 3 albums for just 19 bucks. How cool is that? And this was part of the package, and I'm glad I got this, because this is really good. Next up, pretty much for the most part, I say for the most part because I do want to see if I can get the other compilation with extra tracks, but at the same token, I would just have repeat songs. But we have Midnight's Complete and Total Fucking Midnight compilation from 2005 on My Blind Eyes Records, Shifty, and Outlaw Recordings. And I'm glad I got this particular version because look at that album cover. Avenar's a lucky son of a bitch to have sexy babes on his covers. And even in the liner notes. I mean, damn, dude. But yeah, this is a hell of a compilation for like the early Midnight stuff from like 2003 and 2004. Jeez, that scared the shit out of me. Something just smashed. But yeah, awesome compilation. Midnight's an amazing band. One of the best Ohio bands to ever exist. And hopefully, for a future Horseman podcast episode, we get to talk to him, because that would be a funny conversation. Now for the final 2. First, we got one that I bought all the way from Finland, and it took about a month and a half to get here, but I finally got it, and this is a highly sought after one. Trees of Eternity's Hour of the Nightingale. Of course, Trees of Eternity, atmospheric doom metal band that had members from Swallow the Sun, but most known for Aaliyah Stanbridge, who unfortunately is no longer with us after she passed away from a battle with cancer. And not only is she like one of the most beautiful women in metal history, but very talented vocalist, like great voice. And this is almost a companion to Swallow the Sun's When a Shadow is Forced into the Light, pretty much. So yeah, I was so glad I got this one, considering it's going to be the only Trees of Eternity album. And thankfully I got pretty cheap for the most part. And then the final one is another album from Vader. I got Welcome to the Morbid Reich, their 2011 release, as I am slowly but surely getting all of the Vader albums in the catalog. There's going to be a couple that's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to get, like Carnal, or whatever the name of that album was in 97, but I'll get it at some point. But yeah, badass death metal. I mean, Vader, it's Vader. And that does it for this update. What was your favorite album out of everything that I showed for you guys? Leave that in the comments below. And until next time, horns high. See you guys later.
What the heck is fellatio?
Cole, out of all the people in here, you should know what that is.
Every time I'm soft, I'm supposed to try to dab a shine.
Is it a new way to torture
It's getting a
people?
little too friendly.
No! Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Wait, so fellatio is stimulation of the penis? Really?
Thanks for letting me do that. I might pick that part now.
Cole. It's another name for blowjob.
Okay, okay. Every time I...
I thought it was a dick
It's a deep
punishment.
throat blowjob.
Alright, here we go. Okay.
Moving on.
Sounds like Carson's getting one right now.
God damn.
This game has gone to hell.